Art is the mirror of a nation, reflecting its soul and aspirations.
Through art, people from different countries get to see how Rwandans live together, what is important to them, and what they value the most.
The culture is a very kind of infinite source of inspiration.
More than mere expression, it beats at the heart of a creative revolution.
Art was a way for me to heal, to navigate with my mental issues, with the world, to understand the world around me.
Its revolution drives the pulse of progress, shaping the future of a nation.
Art is a very, very powerful tool to control the world.
In Kigali, Rwanda's capital, a creative renaissance is unfolding. Though young, the country's art scene carries centuries of stories in its brushstrokes.
We have a big number of artists now. We have events, exhibitions happening every week. And there is change because I would say that in like 10 years ago, Rwandans were not going to exhibitions, they were not buying artworks, but now there is change and growth, and it's really good.
In recent years, art galleries have mushroomed across the country, with exhibitions now a regular feature, each space serving as a canvas for fresh voices.
It's a good sign that we have a growth in number of artists and a lot of art galleries, a lot of art initiatives. It also means that Rwandans and people who are living in Rwanda, they are seeing the value in the art that we do, which is very interesting. And it also means that there is money. So if we are getting the money to pay those places, it means that, you know, artists are making money and the industry is growing. I see it as something positive, especially with the new Ministry of Youth and Arts as well. They've been supporting artists in different ways, which means that the future is promising for artists.
At 28, King Gabo represents a new generation of storytellers. His paintings weave traditional narratives into modern masterpieces.
It's a unique concept, very interesting, because he's been working with people from different places and telling Rwandan stories.
I'm an artist who is a thinker because that's what matters to me. You can be a good painter, but if you don't use your art, your brain first, you're not going to produce something great. My art is for others because to me, I believe, and I know so far, I know that God gave me something special, very special. I know it and I feel it, and it's a task to me. And the country, the nation blessed me. I can say that God blessed me by a talent, but I've been also blessed by this country. To live in a peaceful country, to be where I'm supposed to be, to wake up peacefully and work peacefully, to share my creativity to others. And then again, I feel like my art is a bridge to help others to be somewhere where they're supposed to be. So to me, it's no longer my art, it's their art, it's your art, it's the country's art, it's Africans' art.
At an early age, Gabo discovered the profound impact of art in preserving history. Through his work, he captures Rwanda's past, chronicles Africa's struggles, and celebrates its inspirations.
Like Picasso, how he said that every child born as an artist, the only problem is to remain in that mood, is to remain an artist forever. So for me, born as an artist, a storyteller, born and raised in the place where you get a chance, like in Africa, where elders share with you stories. So to me, it was like a transmission of becoming who I am today, because through elders in village, I learned how to write, I learned how to narrate stories, I learned how to create, and then that's where it started. So I started as a writer for stories, and then write children books, and then day by day you decide to become who you are by learning through new things. My intention was to become a children writer and then become a teacher after. So it ended up becoming writing 3 children books and shifting from my hometown to Kigali to find myself. So that's where I learned new skills, painting, professional, doing theater. I went also in the School of Theater in Dakar for some professional workshops. And then in Senegal, I learned how it works. And I went in Europe, in Germany as well to learn. And then again, I came up with an idea to say, I have to come back and combine all the skills that I take as a gift from God to me, and then try to use it for educating, inspiring, and uplifting others. Yeah.
Gabon's private museum, the first of its kind in Rwanda, stands as a testament to the country's artistic awakening.
I started by trying, thinking, telling people that I created a museum, no trust at all. And then after they trusted me, coming to the verification and get an approval from the people who are in charge. And this is our first private museum for African storytelling and art. It's a museum initiated since last year in August 2023. And I initiated it. I even created the art that is in the museum. The first one, which is the Listen, is my creation that I presented in April during Kwibuka Fati. It's called Inzira y'Inzitane, which means the hardship path. It's a psychological work through an art installation that helps people to understand Rwanda's difficult route from 1994 to 2024. So the second one is also based on memory, that's called Wall of Memory, where we show how art, art has the power to educate, to inspire, and to heal. I show how art has been used to destroy, to mislead, in genocide against the Tutsis. So this Wall of Memory shows how art has been used during genocide, how art has been used during stopping genocide, and how art can be useful in post-genocide generation, where I showcased our work through my project called Art for Memories. Art for Memories initiative to preserve in art the damaged pictures for victims of 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. So we have the third part, which called the impact of art to the community, where I showcase how art can be useful to change mind of the people through my second exhibition that called Ishuri, which means school. So we have another collection that's called Uruziga, which means circle. It's a circle that binds Rwandan culture, nature, and beings, where you learn different parts but also get a glimpse of Rwandan culture. We have the fourth part where we collect vintage craft from village to help people to know about our Rwandan tradition and our Rwandan civilization, if I can say. So we have also the other exhibition that called Wall of Inspiration, through African writers, musicians, and poets who influenced Africa and through art. And that's where you can see Mariam Makeba, that's where you can see Walter Soyinka, Chinua Achebe, Iva Buravan as well. So we also have another exhibition that called, and so many others, by the way. So we have another collection that's called Football Saved the Man. Football Saved the Man is a true story of a man who survived genocide because he was a football player. So we show how sport is so powerful, and also to let them know how the tragedy that happens to our country in 1994. So we have another one that's called A Violence to Our Village. A Violence to Our Village is a theater, like how we Africans think that to go outside the countries, our continent, will be a very successful journey, to think that if we go in Europe, if we go in the United States, Canada, we are going to be more successful. We might think that even their Lord is paved by gold and silver, but at the end of the day, when you are alive there, you feel like what you thought that you are going to become is somehow very different. into the reality. So it's a creation that I created to let people think twice. So we have another exhibition that's called a collection that's called Injana, which means rhythm. So it's a rhythm. It's a collection that shows Rwandan music tradition, but also I want to expand into African music tradition, where I'll be collecting instruments from West Africa, South Africans, in the horns of Africa, and then in the center, and then try to educate people about the African music, but also currently we showcase Rwandan music, where we give the experience of listening our traditional music, our traditional poetry, and then give the experience of touching some of our instruments like inanga, drums, and so on and so forth. So we have the last, which is not the least, that's called Transformation of Rwanda in a Vista, where through the view you learn how Rwanda has changed through learning the story of Bugesera. As a story to tell people in the 60s. That's where the crime of genocide started, where they used to take people from different parts and cast them there. And even in 1992, that's where they tested genocide for the first time. So we tell the stories through, because when you're on the view, you see the new airport, you see everything. Where they used to kill people, it's soon gonna be welcoming people. So we tell stories through the view, the vista itself.
Across town, in a studio humming with technology, Dolph Banza charts a different course through Rwanda's artistic waters.
He's one of the biggest artists we have. He's been creating for quite some time, and he was able to mentor a lot of artists in the digital arts. Through his art, you see how people used to live in the ancient Rwanda. You see you learn about our traditional attire. You learn about the traditional activities that people used to do.
My art currently is a culmination of all types of art I've been doing ever since, I started. And it is in constant evolution. It's alive because I get to add in more elements. Right now, it is much more Rwandan focus in terms of values, culture, identity, because I feel like it's a responsibility for an African or a Rwandan artist to carry identity within their work. Yes, so my art is much more identity focused on Rwanda, but I'm also expanding to more, closer cultures, which are, let's say, in Africa. My art has a tendency to show the visible, aspect of hidden truth. So there's going to be a lot of scientific elements in it, but they are all going to be connected to ancient practices. To me, I'm trying to show that whatever technological advancement we have today, whatever type of sciences that we have today, ancient had the same in a different way. They were much more, let's say, intuitive to their approach to innovation than, let's say, intellectual, but they had it all. So when I'm exploring architecture, geometry, wood making, so I get to see the same rules I see in modern design. So to me, I'm like, hey, look at this, it has everything. So next time you look back at your identity, your culture, your history, try to have some esteem and know that they had everything we need. So for me, the past, the history is the culture, is a very kind of infinite source of inspiration.
His studio, Inkstain, bridges Rwanda's rich past with its digital future. Each stroke of his digital pencil captures a unique part of the nation's story.
So my artistic journey started, I started out by myself as a freelance. I was doing graphic design, different, things related to graphic design, but I could draw. Then I started involving some aspect of drawing in my graphic design work. And then at some point, I started out an agency called Inkstain. I started hiring people, upscaling, downscaling, depending on, the vibes I was feeling. And right now, I am much more artistic, let's say, than commercial, because I feel like I have gained so much in this, let's say, journey that is worth to be shared. So I'm going to keep making art, professionally. I'm going to create content, write books, kind of share back to the society things I have learned through this journey.
Inkstain has been at the major forefront of major creative projects, including a high-profile collaboration such as designing for a Kendrick Lamar concert.
Working with Move Africa was a very interesting project to me because they came looking for an artist who could express Rwanda, in terms of identity visually. And it came to me because I'm the one who's been exploring these things. At this point, I like to call myself a visual researcher because I'm not only practicing art, but I'm learning a lot of things which are fueling my creations. To me, it was very important because of the kind of exposure it got, but it is also something that happened at the right moment, right when I was exploring weaving, the intricacy, the patterns, the connection between different elements in weaving. And that's when I got to show people what else weaving can do, what else weaving can inspire. And I had to show it to the whole country with the head of state, present. To me, it was like, yes, this is Rwandan design, doing what it's supposed to do.
While many artists draw from history, one artist charts a bold new course, challenging cultural taboos through provocative expressions.
Her style is unique, the way she creates, and also the topic she talks about. For example, she talks about sex education, which I believe is important which I believe is very important now that we have rates of teenage pregnancy, and about relationship, because when you are young, nobody tells you how to navigate relationships.
Like it goes back to the reason why I started doing art, of course. I couldn't. There was some situations or some feelings I couldn't express. Then I decided to make them into words and pictures. And I guess even now, when I can't find words about something, some situation or some feelings that I'm having, I just put them in my art. So I don't know if there is this one word that can explain that. Most people here in Rwanda, they fear nudity, they fear sexual contents. And I guess right now, I'm one of the few people who can do them. I think I can. As I said, I don't have one word to describe myself. I'm still learning myself. It's been almost 5 years. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I don't want to rush my identity.
Teta's bold use of nudity in her work has sparked debate, but for her, it's a form of self-expression that challenges societal norms.
Like your secrets, your inner person, you have to share with that person. You don't know if they're going to judge you, you don't know if they're going to accept you. Like, I was exploring that concept, and then nudity came as a way of expressing how we are naked when someone, like the way some people see us, like they know every inch of our human being. I don't know, I think that's okay. So that was the idea that I was exploring. Then the way my audience reacted to it, they immediately called it sexual content, but I had no idea that I was doing it. So as I'm working on the last part of it, I want to start another project to explore why the society fear that subject.
Talking about it through art makes it easy for people to have conversations around that topic. And I realized that youth love it and they love her art, and it starts those important conversations, which might be hard to start without using art.
Her journey from obscurity to becoming one of Rwanda's most prominent female artists is a testament to her talent and determination.
I wanted to be a fashion designer because I loved art, painting and sculpture, but mostly painting, fashion and script writing. Yeah, I loved writing movies, but I guess life has a way of, so in 2022 I finally decided to start my painting career, because I had a degree there, and the fashion thing and the script thing, I didn't have anything. I just had my portfolios, nothing else. So I decided to start with painting, but as I told you, the financial side was very down, so I decided to do one piece per month. I remember I bought 12, because I started in January 2021. I bought 12 frames and their canvases, then made the first piece, and then the second, then we went in lockdown. Then I had to do something. Like, I was like, I can't sit here, I'm not studying, I'm not working, so I have to have something. Then I decided to give myself a gift, which was a portrait of my favorite rappers, Rwandan rappers. Some were my friends, others I was just a fan. Then I met them. There were 9 artists. I made them on a piece. I painted them on a piece of wood. Then I decided to post it on my birthday. Then I remember I posted it in the midnight. Then I closed my phone, then went to sleep. Then in the morning, there's some of my friends that I painted, they posted the pieces. I had so many followers, and the TV stations wanted to do interviews with me, and other people wanted to give me to buy my pieces, and I had only 2. It was in Feb. I had no idea what to do. Then I was struggling with my mental health. Then I was like, I started my healing journey in 2021, and I was like, why can't I talk about why I'm in my healing journey? Then I decided to do a collection of 22 pieces about my mental health and how I got there and how I'm healing the journey. The collection was called Chronicles of a Helpless Dreamer. I did my first solo exhibition in September. September, I guess. September. That's how it started. Then I went on the second solo exhibition, the group exhibitions, the third, and now I'm working on the 4th.
These 3 artists are keeper of traditions, a digital innovator, and a boundary breaker, represent the diverse faces of Rwanda's artistic awakening. In their studios, galleries, and digital spaces, they are not just creating art, they are crafting the future of Rwanda's creative industry.
We are working to get other partners to help us to grow, to be the big institution. Not only for this is not the end of dream. We want to create an institute that can be a center of intellectual people, not only in the art, but scientists and artists, psychologists and artists can meet and create something. And I hope, not for today, but for tomorrow, we're gonna achieve all those things.
Now I'm working on different projects from different clients, but I'm also working on my own projects. So the type of projects I'm working on, they range from, storytelling, to big displays for events. And I'm also working on my own content, which I would like to start, showcasing soon, an exhibition.
I have so many exhibitions next year inside of Rwanda and outside. There is this exhibition I have in Australia in January, and others are not yet confirmed, but I do have others.
As Rwanda continues to evolve, so does its art, becoming a key pillar in the nation's culture and economic growth. And now, the world is beginning to take notice, drawn to a vibrant, resilient voice that speaks to both tradition and innovation. As the global spotlight shines brighter, Rwanda's artists stand ready to inspire, challenge, and reshape perspectives, weaving a narrative that's as dynamic and forward-looking as the country itself.